This story starts off with Michael Smith. Now, Michael, as his last name would entail, is a blacksmith for a solar mining corporation. Michael's a really good guy, but, he hates his work. Like, he is one of the most talented smiths in all of Havenstone. He's amazing. He can fix almost anything. But the problem is, he's got such low confidence in himself. He wants to be a family man, and he wants to enjoy a simple life. He's a very simple guy with one specific talent. And Michael's ambitions are pretty well known to most people, but since he's so simple, it's really easy to kind of manipulate him. His boss, Mr. Nordum, knows this very well, and often manipulates Michael. On this particular day, it doesn't seem to go that well for Mr. Nordum. Michael's in his shop, and he's trying to calm down this dog. His daughter's birthday is today, and he got her this dog. And Mr. Nordum hears this dog barking, and he comes walking, and he goes, "Michael, what is a dog doing in this establishment?" And then Michael apologizes. He says, "I'm sorry, this is for my daughter's birthday. There's no way I could have hid it at home. It's a surprise for her." And he says, "I don't care about your personal life. You keep your personal life at home, and you keep your work life here. Now get back to fixing those suits." So, Michael puts the dog in the cage, and he says, "I'm sorry." He drapes a cover over the dog's cage, so, it's a little desensitized. And Michael goes back to work. He grabs the solar suits. Now, usually, Michael's really great at creating these light pieces of machinery. And the difference between Michael and the rest of the Havenstone Smiths is that Michael has a talent for doing it without burning breezewood. Now, breezewood is a material that is often used to build ships or lighter than aircraft. This is because the breezewood, when it's chopped from the ground, literally floats in air. It matches the density of whatever environment it's in. And to burn it is technically illegal, but many of the companies that hire these smiths pay the fine. And it's a pretty steep fine, but they still pay it to burn the breezewood. It's also very harmful to their environment. But Michael knows how to build these metal machines without breezewood fire. And that makes him very valuable to Mr. Nordum. So while he's fixing these solar suits, which solar suits are suits used by solar miners when they're working basically on the big solar panel that's absorbing the sun, it's really important that these things remain airtight and in good condition, because if not, you can face severe burns, or even possibly you could be cooked alive. And that's unfortunately what happened to these solar suits, because they weren't properly fixed, because they weren't run by Michael. And now Michael's got the gross job of cleaning out the gunk and fixing them up. So he goes to work on this job, and it's stinky and it's smelly, and he's just working on it. And then his son runs in. His son's name is Braun. He goes, Dad, guess what?" And he goes, "What, son? What's the matter?" And he goes, Dad, you won't believe this. Braun works a lot of odd jobs to help keep the family up. Michael gets paid decently, but it's still not enough. He's very underappreciated at his work. So to help out, usually Braun sneaks out of school or sneaks out and does many odd jobs on the side. And one of his jobs is as a valet at a casino. And Braun runs in and says, "Hey, well, I was working at the valet job," and Michael goes, "You should have been at school." Braun goes, I'm sorry, Dad, but while I was working there, this guy, he handed me this," and he hands his dad a MagnaCube. Now, MagnaCubes are sort of the credit cards of this world. They crush and recreate gold coins and store them inside themselves. They crush it into a fine powder and absorb it, and because they're made of a breezewood compound, are able to make it a little lighter, so it doesn't feel like you're carrying thousands of sacks of gold, and you can just carry it in one MagnaCube. They take it over to a scale Michael has in his shop, and it weighs 17 kilograms, which is the equivalent of about 33,000 gold coins. That's like getting $5 million, just finding $5 million on the ground. So naturally, Michael's a little wary, because this is Havenstone. Nothing's free in Havenstone. And he turns to his son. He's like, "How did you get this?" And he says, "The man gave it. A man gave it to me." He goes, "He just gave it to you. Why do I find this hard to believe?" He goes, "Dad, I swear, it's exactly what happened. He handed it to me and asked me my name, and I told him my name." For a very long time, while Michael and Braun are talking about this, he just doesn't believe him. He keeps grilling him questions. He wants to know, what's this guy's angle? And the guy has no angle. And while they're talking about this, Mr. Nordum walks in and he goes, Michael, what did I tell you about your personal life? And he goes, sir, I'm really sorry about this, but I quit. You quit? What do you mean you quit? Get back to work. He says, no, sir, I quit. I'm sorry. And he takes his kid, and he takes the dog, and he takes the Magna Cube, and he leaves.